I think my view of the reform period is always changing. It's always moving on. I think part of the reason for that is because the reform process is always changing. If it gets stuck, then we're in trouble. But it doesn't get stuck. It's kept on moving with extraordinary dynamism. I think the first time I learnt about Deng Xiaoping's reform strategy was probably in 1978. But I wasn't that close to China, and I certainly was not knowledgeable particularly about China, and I was not engaged in writing or thinking about China at that point. But it was always somewhere, you know, it was part of my background knowledge that I acquired during this period. As time goes by, you know, with 35 years, it will soon be 4 decades since the reform period began. Then history, also, you begin to think of the reform period in a different historical way. And I would just make 2 points in relation to that. Firstly, I mean, if you look back at it now, what does the reform period say to me? It says, this is the most dynamic, extraordinary transformation in human history. What more could you say about any historical period economically than that? But I think that is the truth. And the other thing when I look back on it now, I think what an interesting shift Deng Xiaoping made in 1978 to the idea of socialism. And this is one of the things I really like about the Chinese Communist Party. It didn't get stuck. And so Deng Xiaoping, until Deng Xiaoping, for example, socialism was regarded as you know, planning and central public ownership, means of production and distribution and so on. And it was a sort of binary view. But actually I think what Deng Xiaoping did was to reform in a very interesting and in very successful way the whole idea of what socialism was.